Hello. So I am on my way to work. It's still morning time, so I can say good morning. So I got another video, got another conversation. I've been behind on my videos. That's why you see me in my car, baby, because I've been behind on my videos. I've been behind on my conversations, and I miss having my conversations. And it's just too much to say to do like one little bitty short. I can't keep doing that. So I'm about to do this. Anyhow, so I was talking about manipulation on my previous video. This video, I'm going to talk about campaigning against reality of the situation. I got several things I done wrote down, so that's why I moved my arm, because I was reading it. So, campaigning against the reality of a situation is very, very, you mostly see this in a situation with a massive manipulator. A lot of people like to say narcissist. I don't like overusing the term narcissist, because everybody is on the spectrum of some kind of narcissism. When I'm in my ego era, a lot of people may think I'm a narcissist because I disregard anybody's emotions when I have a task that I want to get done. If I have something I want to do, I'm expecting you to get the hell up out my way or do your job through rain, sleet, or snow. But when I'm in my ego era, I may come off as a narcissist to somebody. So at this point, I don't care. But like I said, a lot of people, everybody is on the spectrum in some way, shape, or form. It depends on the season. It depends on what type of walk of life you got, and it just depends on where you're at in your life. That's it. Like I said, it's a seasonal thing for everybody. It's just some people may carry it stronger than others. That's just what it is. Well, anyway, when you're in a situation with somebody and you're quiet, you're calm, cool, and collected, but this person may come at you, and they may come off as, trying to dominate you. And the one thing you won't allow is somebody to dominate you, and you say what you need to say. The first thing those people are going to do, they're going to gather up their resources to campaign against you. Whether it's a friend, and the friend may not have witnessed anything. It may be a family member. It may be somebody that they know that they can run to tell, to fix a narrative. I was in a situation not too long ago. It was a while ago, and I had snapped on this person. I really did. I snapped on this individual because they just kept on digging. It wasn't that I walked in and I was just in the bad mood. It's just like, hey, like, I have low tolerance for ignorant shit. And this individual, they just kept pushing. They kept pushing it. And I don't like when you push it in front of people I don't know. And so with the situation, it's like I snapped. First thing they did was they went to the person that they know that they could talk to. Whether that person was on their side or not, they continue to talk to this person. They even got on the phone to talk to somebody that wasn't even present in the moment. That's what they do. That's exactly what those types of people do. They want to pick, and they want to, talk their shit, pop off, or whatever. They want to do whatever they want to do. Think they all big and bad in their season. Then when they push the limit with you, and you finally pop off on their ass, then it's like they have to tell everybody what happened, just so they can feel good about themselves, just so they can feel justified in what they done. I was just sitting there chilling. I was just sitting there cool. I was just sitting there just like, hey, do what you got to do, because I know I can stand 10 toes on what it is, because I know I'm not wrong. Get the hell up off me. Stay the hell away from me. You just gonna keep being uncomfortable around me at this point. And I do that with anybody. I do it at work. I'll do it at home. I do it at anywhere I gotta be, because I stand 10 toes where I'm at in the position I'm in. I'm an easygoing person. And 9 times out of 10, I'm a target because I am an easygoing person. But they don't know that underneath person is like, hey, I got a limit. Don't push the limit. As I've gotten over the years, my limit has reached a tip. Pretty much. And I'm not saying that I'm just a ticking time bomb. No, I'm a person that, I'm not allowing certain people to reach a certain point with me to where they think they can just do whatever. You ain't gonna walk all over me, honey. My outfit's too cute for that. What you gonna do is you gonna have your space, I'm gonna have mine. Basic boundaries is what everybody needs to have. But if you want me to have total boundaries with you, oh, you're gonna be uncomfortable with me every day. Excuse me. But if you gonna have overall total boundaries, oh, I ain't gotta talk to you ever again. But like I said, what they do is they have to talk to their designated people that they feed off of for energy, for, you know, to help them through their stomach. They always need somebody to help them through the day. They always need somebody to give them some kind of clarity, to give them some kind of what is the word I'm looking for? To justify their actions, to justify their views of things. And they just need reassurance all the time. They can't stand 10 toes on what they got going on. They're low vibrational individuals, and that's how they operate. They constantly need reassurance. They constantly need somebody to be there to help them with their insecurities. And 9 times out of 10, those people have some form of social anxiety, which is why they're socially awkward, which is also why they carry themselves the way they are. Hell, they might even be unattractive to people. I don't know. But, you know, hey, that's their problem. But like I said, when you find a nice, easygoing individual who's always bubbly, who's always nice, 9 times out of 10, those are the ones that are mostly targeted in these situations. Because, I mean, people, they just want to see what happens if they could just pin them a little bit. And it's like, okay, you pin me, it's going to be a reaction. I'm going to fuck you up every time. You know, I may act bipolar. I don't know. I may just be like 0 to 100 real quick. It can get like that because that's the type of shit you bring out of me. But that's just an example. But the campaigning part, like I said, is with their resources, with their people that they keep close by. Like I said, it could be management. They like to sit under management and stuff. They like to sit under people that are higher up so then they can be like, you know, oh, I don't do anything. You know, throwing stones and hiding their hand. They could even be close to cousins, family members, campaigning against their own brother. I've seen it firsthand. Hey, it is what it is. Making up lies, making up tales, going back and forth, having people straddle the fence, you know, knock on it. And then you may have people, like I said, at your job, in your personal life, or just a stranger in the street. They just see somebody that's vulnerable and they just want to do the most. But because they know the area, they're very resourceful, they know the people, they know that they can tell people something about you that may not even be real. I've had that happen to me so many times in life. But like I said, I'm one of those people that's a target at first. But then once they see how it is, then they're like, okay, now they try to be cool. It happens every time. It never fails. Because those people really can't stand on business. Ever. Young and old. And they always lying through their teeth. And they try to convince people of their views. And that's a part of the campaigning. They try to convince people of their views. And if they don't have more than 1 or 2 people telling them like, hey, you wrong, you definitely wrong, you need to leave people alone, you need to stop doing this and that, whatever, then, you know, they'll never stop. They'll stop at nothing to do that. But I tell you, the part that I find funny is when they call on somebody that wasn't even there, and that person feeds into the dumb shit like, it wasn't even a big deal, bitch, you wasn't here, shut the fuck up. But hey, that's what that is. But like I said, that's an example on what it looks like. Throwing rocks and hiding the hand. I tell you, next thing you know, you're going to have one of your crackhead cousins just snaring their nose at you just because of what they heard. Throw it. Just because this person talked. That's the thing I don't like. Is certain people that talk too much are the ones that you can't trust a lot. It's one thing if you a clown and you just, you know, you and your friends clowning and y'all always bullshitting, that's one thing. But it's somebody that always has something to say. They always got something to talk about. They constantly talking. 9 times out of 10, you're going to get the truth out of them somehow. And they going to tell on themselves every time. Now, another part of the campaigning thing, when it comes to a relationship or a situationship, I was in this situation too. This is my personal experience. I had a relationship with a man that had a child, that has a child. And there'll be a lot of times where I would talk to this man's parent and we just be talking on the phone, and I'd be thinking that we just having a casual conversation, but she just be she was really trying to figure me out. And I could tell by how she was talking and how she was bringing up certain things that him and I actually had a conversation about. I never had a conversation with her about none of this shit. But for some reason, the conversation that him and I are having in our pillow talk time is come out of her mouth. And so this was in the cupcake phase. This was in the easy time. So this was one of many things that's a red flag for somebody who does the campaigning thing. They can't stop telling their mama everything. They can't stop. They can't stop. Because their mama is their best friend. Their mama is their first love. Their mama is the very person that could be that could be the third party that could be indicated in a reading. So keep that in mind as well. So when things were getting rough, I believe she heard a lot about that stuff. That's why she was acting a certain way with me at a certain phase in our relationship, because I think she knew and she felt the tension. She felt the tension of what was going on between us, to where I kind of felt like I needed to, campaign. I needed to campaign for myself. I needed to tell the truth. But then when it was kind of disregarded, I'm like, okay, so I see what it is. He's still on your titty, huh, bitch? So I was like, okay, F it. I'm not going to worry about it no more. I'm going to leave this situation alone. Because you know who this person is. He a piece of shit, and you raised him. So I think I'm going to get out of y'all's relationship, and I'm going to go live my life. And I have been successful ever since, by the way. But, yeah, I hate to be on a rampage, but I'm just saying, I have experienced campaigning. People who've campaigned against me. Some of them were my own family members. I even heard the stuff that was said about me by one of my own family members through another family member. They even believed it so much that they thought that they were going to address me, and I'm like, what? I was saying this out of my mind. I'm like, what are you even talking about? Not even questioning, not even asking me if it's true. They just believed it. So then I had to distance myself from these people, and I had to say, you know what? Cool. So every time it's something, I'm the one that's like, hey, I'm just gonna get it out, and you just gonna have to deal with it, because you should have minded your business. And number two, you should, if you were that concerned, you should ask me properly, and we wouldn't have the relationship we have now. But it is what it is. I mean, if I would have went back through every time that somebody campaigned and said something against my name that had killed me and hurt me, I wouldn't be here today. Yeah, I wouldn't be here today. Sometimes you just don't know how much that hurts somebody when it comes back to them. But hey, I'm the monster now. But I'm only a monster with you. I give everybody a clean slate. So whoever needs to hear this, say your true, authentic self. Don't be a monster to everybody. Don't use that against everybody, because not everybody is a bad person. Not everybody has ill will towards you. Just because some of your roots were supposed to be real roots, but they ended up being some dirty ass, dead ass leaves. Not everybody is meant to move forward with you, not even by blood, baby. Because when you campaign against me and it's all lies and fabricated information, that's when me and you, we will never be the same. I know where I can give you certain information, and I know where there's a limit. We can have good times. That's where I forgive and I can move past it. But just remember, you campaigned against me when I was at my lowest, and turning around, and now you want to play nice because you seen what that does to you in our relationship, and I'm very valuable in your life. Now look at you. So with that being said, be careful. Be careful what you're doing. And don't match people's energies with that, because just because somebody lied on you, that don't mean you need to lie on them. Just keep going your steady. Because 9 times out of 10, when you have faith, I tell you, what got me through those times, I had faith. I had to distance myself, and I had to have faith, and I had to pray. And a lot of times, their karma, their sown what they reaped, baby, was instant. And it, I never asked anything. I never questioned it. It was brought back to me. It was brought to my attention that this is what was going on with this individual after the fact. And I'm like, well, I hope they can get through it. I hope they're strong enough to get through it, because I had to survive it. So I guess this is their turn to survive what they put out. Life is a mirror. If you don't like what you see, turn it around until you're ready to see it. But eventually you're going to have to face that shit. Eventually you're going to have to face it. And it's going to hit you at a random time. It may be a very bad, troubling time when you actually face your karma. All at the same time, and you grieving. All at the same time, you may be going through a tower moment of life. It may be a time where you're doing your greatest, and then bam, you fall off. Trust me, you will face it one day. So you better be careful, especially with somebody like myself. I pray. I believe in God. My faith is strong. And I know I fought through the hardest of times, and I know I'm a sturdy female. No, I'm not even going to use that toxic word, that ideology. I'm a very, very strong woman when it comes to a lot of stuff I go through. And I'm quiet with it, because I know that, not so much that I harbor when I'm quiet, because I know that I'm using this energy, I'm releasing it in my works. I'm releasing it in my faith. I release it when I conversate. I'm releasing it now. I don't know. It's like, I feel like I'm talking to somebody that's going through a similar situation. That's why I'm speaking about it. I'm not trying to vent, but I do feel like somebody needs to hear this. You will get through this, baby. And when you do, you're going to come out on top, because that's what's happening. That is what's happening. You got to go through this time secluded, because sometimes your family is your worst enemy sometimes, just because they feel like it. Just because they feel like doing it, because they were, 9 times out of 10, they were bullied when they were children. So they harbor in that, and they want to be bullies to their children. Sometimes you deal with that. Sometimes you deal with a not shit ass parent. Or sometimes you deal with a not shit ass family member. Or siblings. Or just people you grew up around. Your roots are sometimes just dead leaves. You just got to move them out the way. Whatever. Like I said, whoever needs to hear this, I feel like this is somebody in your home base. I feel like that. So, hey, it's what it is. But yeah, though, that campaign and stuff, don't match that energy, because it's going to go, it's like this, the yin yang, okay? The infinity symbol is just going to keep going into an ongoing cycle that you don't want, baby. So how you did that shit, block it. Block them. I say this all the time to my siblings. They don't listen to me. But hey, somebody gonna get the knowledge that I'm dropping on y'all today. Block it out by being successful. Block it out by putting all that, your energy in your success. For a while, I had to distance myself from certain connections, focused on my money, and I made great of it at one point in time. But then that also, at the same time, strengthened my relationship with people, because they seen a different side of me. They seen the determination. They seen my strength. And they seen that how valuable I was, because I made my value. I reaped what I've sown. And I know I can do it again, but this time, it's going to be with my name on it fully, baby. And it's going to happen for you too. So, rant over. I know somebody needed to hear that. I know somebody needed to overcome something. Cry it out. Shake it out. Dance it out. Get it out of your system. Because what's going to do is, if you continue to harbor this hatred, harbor this ongoing emotional roller coaster, if you keep on trying to take over, your future with the past and the present, with the people you try to maintain a relationship with, that clearly have shown you that they don't even respect you enough to not campaign against you even when it's false, completely false, then you need to just let them go, because they don't show you no love, so you might as well leave them alone. Once that happens, once you release them, once you get into that grind mode, once you get into that mode, they can't stop you. Nobody can stop you. Only you can stop you, but why would you? You know, it took me a while to get through this processes that I've been through. And I told myself a long time ago, it may seem harsh, but ain't no relationship with no man is worth my relationship with God. You're not as valuable as God, baby. Because I'm constantly rejuvenated with God. And if you're not offering that, then I don't need you. So campaign if you want to, but what's gonna happen is it's gonna bounce back to you, and it's gonna make you feel some type of way. Somebody that was in my energy a while back ago is going through karma now because they refuse to leave me alone. So, hey, I was strong enough to get through it. Sure. You just gonna have to pray for strength now for yourself. Because is that campaigning worth it? All them lies, all the fabricated stories you were telling about that person, is it worth it? No, it ain't. I'm telling you right now, it ain't. But you gonna fight for your life. You gonna fight for your disposition in the situation, because it makes you look a certain way. But you just look crazy now. You look crazy, stupid, and sad at the same time. And now it's making you physically sick because you can't help yourself, can you? Now look at you. Stupid. I'm human. I'm going to say what I feel. I'm just going to ask God to forgive me a little bit, but you're stupid. Now look at you. Over there, can't even make it to the bathroom. Because your spirit, your higher self is trying to get you to live an honest life. And your physical body is reaping the consequences of your stupidity. Is it worth it now? Now you're getting infections and shit. I'm sorry. I'm a realist. I'm going to be real about it. I'm sorry. Nope, not sorry. So, either you going to know or you going to go. Over and out.